matchup on every type of track.
Driving these cars, banging off of each other.
No, he gets sideways. He's off the racetrack. There he goes, trying to make a pass. If you're a driver trying to get in, you get little opportunities like that. Watch how hard these guys are going to drive.
Checkered flag in the air.
Checkered flag there, champion.
Welcome to Loudon, New Hampshire at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The races are winding down. We're about to crown a champion in the East Series. Great crowd on hand here at Loudon. Just a couple races left in the 2012 season. Alongside Phil Parsons, I'm Rick Allen, and on pit road, Derek Perniciglio with all the stories today. A gorgeous day in the big Northeast, 63 degrees, just a slight breeze, and clear skies the forecast. Take a look at our point standings after 10 races.
Yeah, we have 4 drivers right now within 24 points. Eddie McDonald, 51 points back, probably a little out of it. He's a full race behind.
Taking a look at one of our drivers, we go to our BioBlast.
Hi, I'm Ben Kennedy, driver of number 96 Chevrolet. I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida. I've been racing about 6 years now. I started in quarter midgets, did that for about 2 years. Then I went to the Fast Car Push Truck Series down in Florida. We got 2 championships down there at New Smyrna Speedway and Orlando Speed World. And this is my 2nd year in the NASCAR K&N Series. Currently, we're running really good, have a handful of top 10s. Definitely going for a championship this year, and of course a couple wins, and hopefully we'll get in victory lane soon. I'm Ben Kennedy, and that's your K&N BioBlast.
He has been in victory lane, but just not in this country.
Yeah, and in France, which is close.
Well, Phil, what are the storylines for today's race here at New Hampshire?
Rick, the straightaways are so long here. You really want to be good on exit for these long straightaways. You got to stay on top of the tires because you're only allowed to put 2 tires on during the halftime break. Stagger comes into play with these BioSplash tires, and you want to be good on restarts. A lot of spots have been gained or lost on the restarts.
Well, we see that all the drivers are strapped in. The G-Oil 100 just moments away here in Loudon, New Hampshire. Stay with us. Cars are rolling now at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. This is one of the largest tracks that the K&N Pro Series East comes to. And for more on that story, let's go to Derek Perniciglio.
Well, this may be the biggest track that the K&N Pro Series East races on, but a lot of the drivers and crews brought their Langley car, Bowman Gray, or Greenville Pickens car. The reason why? They're all shaped very similar. They're flat, low, sweeping corners, just like here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. You want to be able to roll through the center and be able to hit the throttle coming up off.
Thanks, Derek. Take a look at our starting lineup. Brett Moffitt back on top. There's 3 Toyotas in the top 3 spots of the starting grid.
Yeah, the interesting thing is Brett Moffitt's team really didn't have the funding to run this race. MWR and Michael Waltrip Racing stepped in and provided them a car for this race.
Brett Moffitt used to drive from MWR.
And won this race in that car, that very car.
We'll see if it is an omen that he might get back to victory lane and get that 10th career win in the K&N Pro Series East. Look at the back of the grid here. John Salemi and Tim Bell winding out the 36-car field. But once again, out in front, Brett Moffitt in the number 11, bringing the field out of turn number 4. And we're about to get underway. Green flag will go in the air, and we are underway in New Hampshire.
Derek talked about this being a short track, a little bit of contact back in the middle of the field, but this is a short track that thinks it's a super speedway, speeds upwards of 150 miles an hour at the end of the straightaways.
Sergio Pena trying to work that outside line as Moffitt and Pena rocket down the backstretch. Sergio Pena's going to slide into the 2nd spot. Brett Moffitt, your race leader.
Here's Chase Elliott, the 9 car on the outside. Darrell Wallace Jr., the 18 on the inside. Cale Connolly, the 47. There's Corey LaJoy, the 07, a 3-time winner this year.
Corey LaJoy's dropped back into the 4th spot. Just in front of him, Kyle Larson running in that 3rd position. A little smoke coming out from underneath that 9 of Chase Elliott. Looked like tire rub, Phil.
Yeah, he's made some contact. It looks like it was somebody, Rick, in that left front fender. You can see a little bit of damage to it right there. Hopefully, as the air pressure builds up, that will get better and it'll find its own clearance.
We don't normally call New Hampshire Motor Speedway a short track, but already on the start, it's almost like short track racing. A little bumping and banging early.
We're going to see a lot of bumping and banging on this racetrack for sure.
Out in front, Brett Moffitt holding out of the top spot. Then we see the 9 once again of Chase Elliott looking to the inside of that 07.
That tire rub obviously hasn't affected the way that car is driving. It's still pretty significant, though.
There is travel. These things will move up and down, so Chase needs to make sure he doesn't cut that left front tire. Obviously, that would potentially end his day.
Yeah, certainly bring him to pit road for an unscheduled pit stop, and that's something that's going to be hard to overcome if that happens.
Brett Moffitt out in front. Sergio Pena running second. 3 car lengths between the top 2. Tighter back here in the field.
There's Ryan Gifford. How about Dylan Kwasniewski? Made the trip east for his 3rd start here in the East Series. Having a great season out on the West. He's won 2 races and just trails his teammate, Greg Pursley.
That's one of the things I like about the K&N Pro Series, because the East and West not only get to run the companion event in Iowa, but we do see some East drivers go out to the West races and some West drivers come out here to the East races.
Yeah, we always see a lot of the East drivers go out to Phoenix for that big race out there. So the fact I love is the rules are exactly the same, East and West, no matter what. You can take this East car from right here at Loudon, go back out to Phoenix, and have the exact same rules.
Again, Kyle Larson in the 6, Corey LaJoie in the 07. Those two still trying to battle for that 3rd spot on the racetrack. Here comes Chase Elliott. Smoke going away just a bit on that one, but we're still seeing a little tire rub as these two go door to door coming out of turn 4.
Great side-by-side racing between these 2 young drivers. Corey LaJoie, the 07, Kyle Larson, the 6. That's the battle for 3rd. You see Chase Elliott trailing right now in 5th.
You've seen Kyle Larson actually run in the Camping World Truck Series this year, which is a good thing for him. The latter series continuing to work in NASCAR.
2 starts, 2 top 10 finishes for Kyle Larson.
Very impressive in his Camping World Truck Series debut. And now we're seeing Corey LaJoie with the advantage to the inside, trying to make that pass. But again, the momentum on the outside for Kyle Larson holding that position.
Corey always runs extremely well here at this racetrack. Hasn't got to victory lane yet. Has several top 10 finishes. This is the first time Kyle Larson has seen this racetrack.
Preferred line right now. It looks like the 07 had it. Corey LaJoie takes the spot away. LaJoie up into 3rd.
Remember, we have a long way to go here. We're going to have a halftime break. They're going to be allowed to put right side tires on, fill them with fuel, and then we go the last 50 laps.
Brett Moffitt checking out now on 2nd place. Sergio Pena. He has a 6-car length lead now between the 2. Moffitt looking for his 10th win in the K&N Pro Series East.
Incredible season this year. 32nd place finish at Bristol to start the year. All top 10s after that.
Take a look at Michael McGuire. Here's a 16-year-old. We do see a lot of youth in this series trying to make their way up into the big leagues, I guess you would say, of NASCAR. But just a 16-year-old in just his 3rd start this season.
Yeah, he was 15 years old when he made his debut at Bristol and finished with a top 10. He's had 2 starts, 2 top 10s for him.
Corey LaJoie holding on to that 3rd spot. And Corey LaJoie having a great 2012 as well after he's been to victory lane this year.
Corey had a tough break at Columbus, had a flat tire in the last 10 laps of the race, running 2nd. That's what's got him a little bit behind here in the point standings. Not far, obviously, just 24 points behind in 4th.
Most recent race run for the K&N Pro Series East was Iowa, and Corey LaJoie was victorious there. Again, our Greenville Pickens race got rained out, so that will be later on this year.
Yeah, the guys will have 3 races to go. Dover will be next up for the East Series.
McGuire right in the tire tracks of that 20, driven by Dylan Kwasniewski.
That's the 2 of Ryan Gifford right in front of Dylan. Ryan's coming off a 24th place finish at Iowa. Certainly not what he was looking for.
And you mentioned Dylan Kwasniewski not spending a lot of time over here on the East Series, just his 3rd start in the K&N Pro Series East.
But very competitive when he does come, for sure.
Michael McGuire just behind him again, also his 3rd start, just 16 years old. And it's difficult, Phil. I know you've got a son that races in Bandoleros, and he's 14 years old. You got to think, okay, here's a full-size car, and this kid started just almost a year later than what your son is right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. My son's only been doing it a couple years. As you can see, Dylan currently running 10th right now with 4 career West Series wins, but it's amazing the youth movement. Dylan, we saw him emerge on the scene in the West Series when he had just turned 16 years old, or really right before he turned 16 years old.
Ryan Gifford just in front of this threesome. Ryan Gifford, you still see that smoke coming out from underneath Chase Elliott's number 9. How long will that left front tire handle all of the tire rub that he's getting from the sheet metal on it?
You look right behind the fender, and it almost looks like that tire rub is into the tread, which is really not where you want to see it, but it's lasted 12 laps, and we have a battle for 2nd.
How about the run that the 07 of Corey LaJoie has made? Now he's to the inside of that 1 of Sergio Pena, takes the 2nd spot away. Right behind Ryan Gifford, that 7 of Michael McGuire trying to advance his position.
You know, after about 14 laps here, these guys now are getting a feel for what these cars are going to do. They're communicating with their crew chiefs to talk about maybe what changes to make after halftime break.
We talked about the storylines that you gave us before the show. Are they coming to fruition? We're about to find out. Brett Moffitt out in front. Run, the yellow flag comes out. First caution of the G-Oil 100. And coming on to pit road, you see a lot of damage to the right side of that number 49 of Ikanori Ogata.
Looks like maybe a right front tire went down on that car.
Here's an opportunity. Do we see Chase Elliott bring his number 9 onto pit road? Obviously, it's early in this race before that halfway mark.
I know he doesn't want to give up the track position, but I believe if I was him, the fact that that smoke has persisted this entire time, I believe I would come in and maybe beat that fender out a little bit.
What a gorgeous day for the folks up here in the Northeast to come out and enjoy a race here at Loudon, New Hampshire.
This is the 57th time this series has run at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Corey LaJoie is going to have the outside line, it looks like, as Brett Moffitt has decided to restart on the inside. The race leader gets to choose either inside or outside, and that's the preferred line around here.
Yeah, I think so most of the time. A lot of time we've seen a lot of people start from the outside at a lot of these different racetracks, but I believe here at Loudon, the inside is the place to be.
It worked for Brett Moffitt on the initial start of this race. This will be the first restart, so he's going to try it again on the inside. Brett Moffitt on the inside, Corey LaJoie on the outside, making up row number 1.
See, Chase Elliott elected not to come to pit road. You see him lining up inside row 3 on the inside of Cale Conley.
Green flag back in the air. A little bit slow on the accelerator, that 6 of Kyle Larson.
Going to allow the 47, I'm sorry, Rick, of Cale Conley to pull up to his outside.
Gets back into it, though. Tries to tuck in behind the 11, but on the start, it looks as though Corey LaJoie has the advantage. Brett Moffitt maybe makes the wrong decision.
We talk about the outside a lot. They're able to pinch the guy on the inside down a little bit. It worked for him that time.
This time Chase Elliott on the inside, that 47.
Oh, that tire finally went down, I believe, and he made contact with Cale Conley.
Cale Conley was in the 47 on the outside, and you see a lot of carnage now back here in turn 4.
That's Harrison Rhodes, the 94 car sitting in the racetrack. Doesn't appear to be a lot of damage to Harrison's car.
We talked about Chase Elliott and the left front tire. When would it go? It happens just after the restart.
I think they really squandered an opportunity to bring that car down pit road during that caution flag. Because see, watch, that tire's going to go down right there as he moves up the racetrack. Nothing he could do about it. He made contact with Cale Conley. Tough break for Cale.
Just clips the 47. Also, it looks like the 14 got a little damage. Daniel Suarez.
There's another view of it there. You see Cale into the outside wall.
47 makes his way back onto pit road. Derek.
Well, Cale Conley in the number 47 was involved in that altercation out there. You can see some heavy damage to the left and right-hand sides of that race car. They did want to check it over really quick. They let him go just so he can go back out there and not lose a lap on the track.
Thanks, Derek. And we see the 9 of Chase Elliott now has made his way onto pit road. Obviously, they've got to fix the left front tire.
At least he's able to do this under the caution flag. He will not lose a lap.
Chase Elliott would rather be known for winning races than bringing out the yellow flag, but it happens here. Second caution out at Loudon. If you were wondering, Corey LaJoie is going to choose the outside line on the restart. Green flag back in the air. And how about the restart by Brett Moffitt on the inside this time? He rockets in front of that 07 for the lead.
Yeah, he was way ahead of Corey LaJoie. I don't know if Corey spun his tires or maybe got going late, but certainly huge lead for Brett Moffitt.
Michael McGuire in the 7 on the inside, trying to get by.
I believe that's a 97 of Jesse Little on the outside.
Door to door as they come through 3. There again, Brett Moffitt out in front of Corey LaJoie. Kyle Larson running in the 3rd spot.
You know, a lot of people say, hey, you cannot beat the leader to the start-finish line. What if the leader has a problem? The leader starts and something happens, whether he spins the tires or something, then NASCAR will allow that other car, the second-place car, to beat him to the line.
This battle still continuing. 97 of Jesse Little on the outside. Michael McGuire on the inside.
Brian Ortiz, the 4 car, is going to join this battle, as well as the 99 of Travis Pastrana.
Pretty good run for Jesse Little. Has a career best in the K&N Pro Series East of 11.
Ooh, Pastrana makes a little bit of contact with Ortiz as they exit turn 4.
Up front for 3rd. Darrell Wallace Jr. taking the spot away from Kyle Larson. Now Larson crossing back over to the inside, trying to, a little contact there between the 2.
Yeah, Darrell was able to get on the throttle or squirt out in front of Larson.
So now Larson tucks in behind that 18 of Darrell Wallace.
Darrell Wallace's teammate, Kwasniewski, the 20, right behind Kyle Larson. Good battle here.
Fourth and fifth on the racetrack. The top two have checked out. Corey LaJoie just behind Brett Moffitt.
Got a little bit of gap back to Darrell Wallace Jr., but remember, he was involved in that race with Kyle Larson for the third spot.
Side by side, Brian Ortiz on the inside of Michael McGuire.
The 99 Pastrana right behind.
Ortiz able to take the spot away from McGuire, so Ortiz moves up into position.
Travis Pastrana trying to get a lot of experience here in stock cars. Really has done a nice job. Had a great fourth place run in the combo race at Iowa for his best finish this year. Also running some nationwide races.
And we're also seeing that Travis Pastrana is going to run a truck in Las Vegas this weekend.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Good to see him in a truck. First time ever in a truck, and I think he'll do well.
Brett Moffitt out in front of Corey LaJoie. Moffitt, your pole winner, was able to lead the first 15 laps before the caution came out. And on the restart, it was Corey LaJoie that got the advantage from the outside, but after the next restart, it was Moffitt that jumps back out in front and continues to lead here at Loudon.
Yeah, the front two are opening up a little bit more of a gap over the third place runner, the 18 of Darrell Wallace Jr. There's Jesse Little, the 97 on the outside of Ortiz.
They're trying to make that outside line work, but Ortiz has got the position.
It's a good battle inside the top 10.
Jesse Little looking for a career best finish. Way before the halfway point of this race, but running in the top 10 already after having an 11th place finish is his career best.
His dad, Chad, had a lot of success in NASCAR. Came from the West Coast, multi-time winner out there on the West Coast, and won a lot of races in the Nationwide Series.
Working for NASCAR.
Yeah, he's the series director for the Whelen Modified Tour.
And again, got to be proud of his son right now, Jesse Little, running in the top 10.
So Travis Pastrana get his left side tires down on the apron, trying to get a little grip down there.
He'll run about anywhere. Doesn't need to be paved. It can be dirt, grass, or,
air.
Yeah,
air.
He doesn't even need a surface to be on. He's been very dominant. Kyle Larson still bird dogging that 18 of Darrell Wallace. Derek, what's going on with the 6?
Good battle for third right now. Kyle Larson putting the pressure to Darrell Wallace Jr. Larson has one win so far this year, 5 top 5s, 8 top 10s. He's also been running in the truck series for Turner Motorsports. He's got 2 top 10s with them so far. And when he's not racing in NASCAR, he recently won the Gold Cup out on the West Coast of the World of Outlaws.
Pretty versatile, and we see that a lot with race car drivers. It might be an off week for them, but they don't take it off. They want to find something to race.
Kyle Larson is going to Eldora to race tonight after this race.
He's busy.
Yes,
He
busy.
stays very busy. We see it getting busy on the racetrack once again. Side by side, the 15 on the inside. That's Carlos Iaconelli.
You have the 31 behind him. That's Jimmy Weller. You see Carlos from Brazil. Jimmy's from Ohio.
You know, Carlos has got a little damage to the right front of that race car. Saw a little bit of fiberglass flapping there.
Yeah, you see, side by side again. Kyle Larson now has moved up to the inside and going to take that spot from Darrell Wallace Jr. That's the battle for third.
Larson has it once again. Darrell Wallace has dropped back into the 4th position. Again, 1 and 2 out in front. Brett Moffitt and Corey LaJoie, they have extended their lead to about 12 car lengths in front of this battle for third.
Yeah, we're within 10 laps now of the halftime break. All the crew chiefs trying to figure out what to do to these cars now to try to run with that 11 of Moffitt and the 07 of Corey LaJoie. There they are right there.
Moffitt still holding a 2-car length lead over Corey LaJoie. And you mentioned the halftime break, the mid-race break that we're going to see. They're going to be able to change 2 tires, but make some adjustments to these race cars to try to get them to handle a little better.
Yeah, anything that they could do on a normal pit stop, in addition to the 2 right side tires and filling up with fuel, they're allowed to do.
And so right now, as the final 6 laps wind down before that break, guys trying to figure out exactly what changes they're going to want to make as Moffitt stays in front of Corey LaJoie.
If I'm the crew chief for one of these 2 cars, it's going to be hard for me to change a whole lot.
Brett Moffitt has been fairly dominant since the drop of the green flag. The only time he's lost the lead was on a restart, but gained it back on a restart. There once again we see Jesse Little just in front of Michael McGuire.
That's a battle for the 9th position.
Little has it. McGuire wants it. McGuire just in that 10th spot, just in front of Travis Pastrana.
Nice job by these 2 young drivers. First time they had been to Loudon. Of pretty challenging racetrack with these long straightaways and very, very tight, flat corners.
Yeah, this is one of the flatter racetracks that these guys will run on at these speeds. I mean, we talk about this being the biggest racetrack that they do run on. Most of the time it's short tracks. But at these speeds with such a flat racetrack, this has got to be very difficult for crew chiefs to set up these cars.
It really is. They say this racetrack is banked from 2 to 7 degrees, and it looks like it has a little bit of bank. You drive it like it's as flat as can be.
And I've heard you drivers talk about it feels like it actually is banked the wrong way when you go into the turns.
Off-camber, we call it. But it is very challenging for a crew chief to try to keep these cars hooked up. You got to get them turned in the center of the corner. I mean, you can say that about any racetrack, but then you have to get the power down. You see, when they go the other direction, they try to put that 675 horsepower down to the racetrack.
And we're seeing right now Michael McGuire do just that. He's able to put the power down a little quicker than Jesse Little was actually into the back of that number 97.
See a little bit of wrinkle on the back bumper of Jesse's car. Fortunately, it didn't get him out of shape, and he maintains his position.
We would have to say that this would be a long green flag run, and the guys are looking at this as how their cars are handling after such a long green flag run.
Yeah, and we've got now close to 50 laps on them, and that's how far they're going to have to run after the halftime break. So right now is what their car probably is going to be doing towards the end of this race. So they want, if it's not right now, they need to make some adjustments and try to get it right.
We saw Chase Elliott change the left side tires. We know that he's going to come back in at halftime break and have right side tires put on. Does that give him an advantage for the second half of this race?
Well, they only allowed him to change the left front tire. NASCAR will allow you to change a tire if it's flat on the wheel. So he was only allowed to change his left front tire. But I think we'd only run about 15 green flag laps or so I don't think it'll be much of an advantage.
How about the move by the 7 of Michael McGuire? Takes the spot away. Oh, and problems in turns 3 and 4. Tim Bell and Harrison Rhodes into the wall.
Right before the halftime break, these guys looks like they've gotten together here. See a lot of damage to that 74 car as well as the 94. There's Harrison Rhodes. 3 starts this year, 2 top 10 finishes. A lot of damage to the left side of that car.
So the field will make their way onto pit road. This will be the halftime break that NASCAR has told us about. They will be able to stop the cars, change right side tires, and make any adjustments, as well as fill these full of fuel.
Again, if I'm Dave McCarty, crew chief on this 11 car for Brett Moffitt, I'm not going to change a whole lot.
Travis Pastrana also in on pit road, taking care of the right side tires. Again, let's hear from the stories on pit road. Now we go to Derek Bernasiglio.
Well, Brett Moffitt is the leader at the halfway point. Brett, you're in the car that won last year. Car looks really strong. How's it feel?
Yeah, we're really good right now, just trying to hold off the 07. It's tough points racing when second and third place in points are right behind me on the track as well. So hopefully we'll have what it takes to win this race, and we'll make the right adjustments here.
And I'm guessing that Brett Moffitt will choose the inside line. What do you think, Phil?
I think so, too. But he's done well from the inside and outside.
G-Oil 100 at the halftime break. When we come back, green flag will go back in the air from Loudon. Cars back out onto the racetrack just as they came off before the halftime break. It's Moffitt, LaJoie, Larson, Wallace, Wisniewski in top 5.
Remember, new right side tires, old left side tires full of fuel.
Side by side, Brett Moffitt on the inside, LaJoie on the outside. Green flag back in the air, and a good restart this time for Brett Moffitt.
That's going to lead him down into turn number 1. Is Kyle Larson going to be able to get to the inside of Corey LaJoie? Ooh, Corey pinched him a little bit.
It's like a little contact there between the 6 and 07, so Larson slides back into the 3rd spot. Corey LaJoie holds on to 2nd. Oh, and contact behind them.
Jesse Little, there's Travis Pastrana in the middle of a 3-wide battle. Travis drives it hard down in the corner.
Like Dylan Presnell in the 26, and Jesse Little may have had a little bit of contact, and taking advantage of that was the 99 of Travis Pastrana.
Now he's on the inside of the Michael McGuire car, the number 7. These guys racing hard here after this restart.
You want to get as much out of those new tires as you can, so we're seeing guys getting very racy here early.
It's a lot easier to pass somebody on a restart than it is when you get up to speed.
Once again, Ortiz looks to the inside. Now he's going to try to take that spot away. Wisniewski.
See, Ben Kennedy has already made the pass in that G-Oil car, the 96.
Ben Kennedy, our BioBlast driver earlier today.
Ryan Gifford now is going to move up to the inside of Wisniewski in a battle for position.
These two stay side by side. Gifford on the inside. Wisniewski does the crossover move, a little contact, and Wisniewski's going to take the spot back.
Crossover with contact. Look at the rear bumper of Ryan Gifford's car. That's where the contact came from. Now Travis Pastrana is going to be able to drive by him. Ooh, Michael McGuire gets loose and slides up the racetrack.
We saw Pastrana throw that car into the turn and was still able to keep it pointed the right direction.
And now Michael McGuire has moved to the inside of Pastrana.
So Pastrana trying to hold off Michael McGuire for position. McGuire has the advantage on the inside. He slides going through 1 and 2, dirt tracking it through 1 and 2, and Pastrana stays in front.
Both those cars were sideways through that corner.
And Presnell in the 26 able to get the advantage over Ryan Gifford. How about Pastrana? Extremely hard driving early in this one.
He's made his way up into the top 10. Doing a nice job here.
Looking to improve on his best career finish, which was 4th at the last race in Iowa, but the first combination race in the summer.
He's coming off 3 top 10 finishes in his last 4 starts there.
Ben Kennedy now on the back bumper of Darrell Wallace Jr. Ben Kennedy with a nice run once again. So you see Brian Ortiz moving up on the back bumper of the 96 now.
Yeah, it looks like Ben Kennedy has made his car better here during the halftime break. In a strong battle with Brian Ortiz for the 5th spot.
Kennedy has that 5th spot. Ortiz trying to take it away. Just in front in 4th is Darrell Wallace Jr.
See Ben Kennedy try to turn that car underneath Darrell Wallace. Wasn't able to get the power down quite as quick as Darrell was that time.
Battle for 5th continues. Brian Ortiz. It's in the corner just a little bit stronger than Ben Kennedy, but then from center off, Ben Kennedy looks like he has the better car.
You know, we talk about the ladder system of NASCAR. How about Darrell Wallace Jr.? The couple nationwide starts he's made this year, all top 10 finishes.
Yeah, he's looked very impressive in whatever he has gotten behind the wheel of.
Yeah, actually 3 nationwide starts for Darrell Wallace, all top 10 finishes.
Sergio Pena now looking at the inside of that 2 of Ryan Gifford.
We can see the Shiggy Hattori guys have made the repairs to Pena's car. We saw that damage early on to the left front. They have her patched up.
Sergio Pena continues to try to run toward the front. Speaking of, let's go back to the battle for 5th. Ben Kennedy holding on to that spot. Brian Ortiz chasing in the number 4. Just in front of them is Darrell Wallace Jr. These 3 cars have run nose to tail since the drop of the green flag after the midway break. Right in the middle, it's Ben Kennedy. Derek, what's going on with him?
You can't take it away from Ben Kennedy this year. The performance has really started to step up. He's got 2 top 5s and 7 top 10s. And that car that he's driving, that's the Hendrick Motorsports car that they destroyed in a wreck out at the Iowa Speedway. They put a new front clip on it, they put a new rear clip on it, and dialed it in perfectly for this racetrack. He's running in the top 5 right now.
Thanks, Derek. I know we always talk about the front clip and rear clip of a race car, but let's explain a little bit of what that is.
Yeah, essentially you have a center section, which is the cockpit of the car where the roll cage is, and then you have a front frame section and a rear frame section. Those are parts that are fairly easy to repair and replace. You just weld on, you know, cut one off and weld it back on, and that's what they did to Ben Kennedy's car, front and rear clip.
And it seems to be working well as he's holding on to the 5th spot. Out in front still, Brett Moffitt has the lead, but Corey LaJoie getting close to that back bumper once again to challenge for the top spot. Looks to the inside as they go out of turn 2.
It looks like Brett Moffitt's car is getting a little bit loose now, right in the center of the corner. It looks like the back end wanted to kick out on him a little bit.
Corey LaJoie trying to take advantage of maybe a loose race car for Brett Moffitt as he looks to the inside once again. We talk about from the center off and how cars are a little bit better. Right now, Corey LaJoie is a little better than Brett Moffitt from center off.
Yeah, he really is. And when you're Corey LaJoie, you see Brett Moffitt maybe sliding around a little bit. You start licking your chops knowing that's not going to fix itself. That's going to get worse if anything. You see him get loose again. Now Corey's there.
Corey takes advantage of the loose race car for Brett Moffitt. Moves to the inside. The battle for the lead continues down the backstretch.
See Corey just eased it down in the corner. He knows he's better through the center of the corner than Brett Moffitt.
And now Moffitt able to stay on the power a little bit longer and out in front of Corey LaJoie. So Moffitt holds the lead as they go across the stripe.
A nice job by Brett Moffitt. He kept Corey pinched down where Corey couldn't get all the power down at the exit of the corner. Right here, though, is where Moffitt's vulnerable.
That's center and off for Brett Moffitt. We've seen how loose that race car is, and Corey LaJoie is sitting back there ready to pounce once again as we saw him do it last time.
You know, Rick, we talked about the very top of the show, one of the storylines, the fact that you want to make sure you stay on top of the tires. Remember, these bi-ply tires, they are different sizes. They're unlike the radials. There's very little difference in the radial tires. These left side tire bi-ply tires and right side tires will grow differently. That's why the tire guys are so important at a place like this.
Almost a little contact there for the 07 of Corey LaJoie. He slid up the racetrack, was able to get back out of the gas and stay to the inside of the 11 of Moffitt, but drops back a car length now as he continues to try to take that top spot away.
Looks like Brian Ortiz now has made it by the 96 of Ben Kennedy. These guys have been battling since the halftime break.
Back up to the front we go. Brett Moffitt still holding off that 07 of Corey LaJoie. LaJoie, though, has a great handling forward right now as he stays right on the back bumper of that Toyota Moffitt. Moffitt wiggles a bit, and Corey LaJoie will take the top spot away.
Yeah, that was as sideways as Brett Moffitt has been this entire race, and Corey really took advantage of it.
Kyle Larson now in the 6, able to close the gap between he and Brett Moffitt. So now the battle for second will ensue.
Yeah, Brett Moffitt's car right now is not as good as it was early on. See Kyle Larson all over the back of him. Corey LaJoie now puts about 5 car lengths on him.
Corey LaJoie looks like he's going to check out as Ortiz moves to the inside of Darrell Wallace.
Nice job. Oh, a little bit of contact as they enter turn number 1.
Amazingly, Darrell Wallace just turned down into the 4, it looked like there.
He didn't want him to be there.
He wanted that spot, and Ortiz was there. Now Kennedy on the back bumper of that 18. Again, that's 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, Brian Ortiz has not had the most consistent season, but he's had some great finishes. 3rd place is best. Here comes Kyle Larson to the inside of Moffitt.
Battling for second. Moffitt trying to hold on, but Kyle Larson stronger entering the turn. He will take the second spot away, and now he'll set his sights on the 07 of Corey LaJoie.
Really a horrible feeling for Brett Moffitt. He knows that he can't come in, get tires, can't make an adjustment. He could be in trouble.
Corey LaJoie out in front here at Loudon. LaJoie's lead has gone away because a caution came out for Carlos Giaconelli. Now it's Kyle Larson to the outside. LaJoie on the inside. Green flag back in the air. Little contact back there in 4th.
Well, Ortiz was a little bit slow getting going, and he got pushed almost into the outside wall. Did a great job of saving that car.
The 18 of Darrell Wallace Jr. takes over the spot from the 4, and now Kyle Larson trying to take away the top spot. Gets by Corey LaJoie going down the backstretch. Larson in the 6, LaJoie in the 07.
Boy, a great run off the corner for Kyle Larson. Let's see if Corey can fight back on the inside through the center. He does. He's there.
Hard through the center of the turn, but he doesn't have as much room. Contact made as they come out of 4. Larson still holding on to that top spot.
I loved watching his hands. Kyle Larson was fighting that car, never out of the throttle.
Kyle Larson hard into turn number 1. LaJoie still right down on the yellow line, trying to make that inside line work. These two continue to battle for the lead.
Yeah, Corey doesn't want to give this lead up. They're battling all over the racetrack. Brett Moffitt sideways off of turn 2.
How about Travis Pastrana making the move to the inside of Brett Moffitt? And now Corey LaJoie once again inside of the 6 of Larson. That's a battle for the lead on the left.
Look at this battle on the right side. The 3 wide behind him. How about Chase Elliott has made his way back into this top 10.
Brian Ortiz to the inside of Travis Pastrana on the right side of your screen. It looks as though Kyle Larson will have the advantage now as he was able to get by that 07. A little smoke. And around goes Dylan Presnell in 26.
Bit of a chain reaction. Do we stay green for now? No, caution flag is out.
They do grab the yellow flag. It will come out for the 5th time. So Presnell does a complete 360. Gets it going the right direction, but another car was turned around and stopped on the racetrack. So the caution has come out.
Just a chain reaction deal. A couple cars got together up in front of Presnell. Then there was some contact. He got turned around, did a nice job keeping that car going in the right direction.
17-year-old out of Tennessee, a wild ride in the 26. They'll re-rack the starting lineup, go 2 by 2 once again. It's going to be Kyle Larson and Corey LaJoie making up row number 1. We'll see who has the advantage on the next restart next year on Speed. Welcome back to the G-Oil 100 for the NASCAR Canyon Pro Series East. Kyle Larson chooses the inside line, LaJoie on the outside. Green flag back in the air.
Kyle Larson does a nice job using the racetrack up. Look at Bubba Wallace. Looks to the inside in the 18 car.
Darrell Wallace Jr. trying for the lead. Doesn't get by the 6. The crossover by the 07 of Corey LaJoie. Those two bump and bang for second. LaJoie has it.
Well, Darrell Wallace was up in the loose stuff for just a moment. He maintained control. Big wreck on the backstretch.
Sergio Pena sideways. Ben Kennedy involved in it. Dylan Presnell in the 26 also involved.
There's Sam Hunt, the 22 car, almost against the inside wall. Look at the damage to Dylan Presnell's number 26 and Ben Kennedy's 96.
So much sheet metal damage. Nicholas Sweet also got caught up in this in the 53.
Really vulnerable time right after restarts when the field's all bunched up inside of 10 laps to go.
And look at the damage to Steve Lejean in that 5. He'll have to bring it onto pit road. The whole front end mangled on that 5 car.
He was doing a nice job, stayed out of trouble, trying to get to the end. There's Clay Campbell, president of Martinsville Speedway. He got a lot of damage in that Spraker machine.
The teams will take a look at it, but that is terminal for the 5 of Lejean. He will be done for the day. Also, C.J. Faison involved in this incident.
This is one of the larger wrecks we've ever seen here at Loudon in this series.
A lot of cars involved in this one. Presnell in the 26, we saw him going around catching the 96 of Kennedy. They're showing the red flag. We're going to stop the field as we have so few laps remaining in this race.
I think it's a great call by NASCAR, number 1. Let's take a look at what happened here. You see somebody bounces off the outside wall. Looked like maybe Sergio backed off when that happened, and then he got run into from behind, and then it was just chaos. You see the hard contact between Presnell in the 26 and Kennedy in the 96.
And Sam Hunt in that 22, a wild ride. We saw the contact there. The 2 of Ryan Gifford got into the 1 of Sergio Pena.
You watch the right of your screen here. That's when Dylan Presnell came in, made contact with a 96 of Ben Kennedy.
So numerous cars caught up in this one. We see C.J. Faison climbing out of his race car, and the crowd obviously acknowledging that as he'll climb into the ambulance and make a ride to the infield care center, get checked out. But again, a lot of carnage coming out of this most recent caution as we're winding down to the last few laps. Let's go to Derek.
Well, Spencer Gallagher was one of the drivers that was involved in that wreck on the back straightaway, and Spencer, cars went everywhere. Could you tell us what happened?
You know, I'll be perfectly frank. I was on the back straightaway, and I saw smoke and cars going everywhere, and about the time that kind of registered to me, I knew I was already doomed. So I just saw smoke and brace for impact. I knew we were going to be in it before we even got there. And honestly, I wish I could say I was surprised at what I saw went on, but from the way I saw people racing out there, it really doesn't come as that huge a shock.
Gallagher driving the 23. You see the 26 of Dylan Presnell. That car will be difficult to get back in the hauler to get that one home. So the G-Oil 100 under red flag condition. We'll be back for the restart. Loud. 5 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. Larson on the inside. LaJoie on the outside.
Nice jump by Larson. He's moving up to get a good angle in the corner. Corey has his fender up us alongside.
Corey LaJoie trying to make that outside line work. Now he cuts back inside the 6 of Kyle Larson. Larson has the lead.
See, Travis Pastrana has made his way up into the top 5.
Pastrana running in the 5th spot. Now LaJoie looking to the inside of Kyle Larson. Larson up the racetrack. Here comes LaJoie looking to the inside. Larson back on the gas, able to hold off LaJoie. 4 laps of racing to go.
You see Kyle Larson fighting that car loose on exit of 4.
Kyle Larson, Corey LaJoie, Darrell Wallace Jr., your top 3. They race into 1 and 2.
Boy, that car is loose for Kyle Larson.
Larson running a little higher line. That allows the 07 of Corey LaJoie to peek to the inside. Is this the turn? He takes the spot away. LaJoie to the inside. Larson on the outside. Door to door through 3 and 4.
It had to be so tempting for Corey just to blast that thing down in there, use the 8 tires to try to get around him, but he had to restrain. Now they're 3 wide for the lead.
While those 2 were 1 and 2, here comes Darrell Wallace Jr. Wallace Jr. takes second away from Corey LaJoie. Kyle Larson still out front. Here comes LaJoie for second once again.
Darrell got a little bit loose there. That allows Kwasniewski to get up beside him in a battle for third.
2.5 laps remain. Kyle Larson has a car length and a half over Corey LaJoie now.
There's Dale Quarterly. We haven't seen Dale. A lot of experience in this series. He's on the inside of Michael McGuire, and there's Jimmy Weller in the 31.
Still out front, Larson. 2 laps of racing to go. LaJoie tucked right on the back bumper. Just over 2 miles. Larson, LaJoie, 1 and 2.
Corey knows right now he's going to have to make something happen here pretty soon.
Looked like a little contact there, but very minor as Larson comes off of 2 down the backstretch, has the advantage. This time by, he'll see the white flag. Larson just in front of Corey LaJoie.
I think Larson does a good job of getting his car turned and then getting the power down, trying not to spin the tires off the corner.
White flag in the air one more time around. One more opportunity for Corey LaJoie. Does he dive bomb it into 3? We're about to find out. Kyle Larson has the advantage. Corey LaJoie coming out of turn number 2 all over his back bumper.
He's got one more corner to do it now. We know that Larson's been a little bit loose on exit of 4.
2 car lengths, the separation between 1 and 2. Larson in front of Corey LaJoie. Larson, a perfect 3 and 4, but here comes LaJoie. Contact is made. Kyle Larson, Corey LaJoie. Larson's going to win in Loudon.
Kyle was waving before he got to the start-finish line. I don't know if he was waving at Corey or waving at the crowd.
How about the finish there? Kyle Larson finishes about, well, he's going to start his celebration early coming out of turn number 2. Kyle Larson spins out of turn number 2.
I'm not sure that was intentional, truthfully.
He won that race by about 10 feet.
Watch his hands here, Rick. Watch his hands.
Turns to the right, coming out of turn number 4. LaJoie, a valiant effort, but as you mentioned, that left hand outside the car as he crosses the stripe.
It'd be nice to be 18 again, wouldn't it?
Kyle Larson grabs another win in the K&N Pro. And coming off of turn number 2, Kyle Larson celebrating a little bit early in the G-Oil 100, getting his 2nd career win in the K&N Pro Series East. Let's hear from him. He's with Derek.
Well, there's no cushion out there, but Kyle Larson put it up on the high side and kind of dirt tracked it around Corey LaJoie to pick up his 2nd NASCAR K&N Pro Series win. Were you driving a dirt car out there?
Yeah, getting some practice before I go to Eldora tonight, but man, what a race there with Corey. That was a lot of fun. He raced me clean, and we got together a few times, but, you know, that's what this series is about. And, you know, I was really loose on the restarts. I needed about 5 or so laps to get going, and, you know, just tried to hold them off as much as I could, and, you know, came away with the win. It's really good for this Rev Racing team and Toyota, and, you know, hopefully we gain some points on the point leader, Brett Moffitt, tonight, but, you know, we'll keep inching away at it. I'm just going out there and trying to win each race I can, and, you know, just keep gaining some points.
2nd win for Kyle Larson this year, guys.
Very talented young man behind the wheel of that race car, and I'm sure he's going to be celebrating quite a bit in the future. Corey LaJoie coming in to give his congratulations. LaJoie finishing up in 2nd as we look at our results.
Yeah, Darrell Wallace Jr. with a nice run. And how about Dylan Kwasniewski makes the trip east, comes away with a top 5 finish. And Chase Elliott, nice rebound to stay in this point battle and finishes 5th.
Travis Pastrana also with a top 10 finish. As we look back a little further in the field, Clay Campbell, Nicholas Sweet involved in that incident where a lot of damage to those race cars. They finished in 21st and 22nd.
See, Cale Connolly got taken out early on in an incident.
We talk about Corey LaJoie finishing up 2nd. Let's hear from him and how bittersweet that was. Derek?
Well, Corey LaJoie finished 2nd today. He led for a while, and you put some pressure to Kyle Larson at the end.
Yeah, no, we didn't have the position on that last restart a couple times. It's probably my fault not putting ourselves in position, but, man, it was good racing, and I wish I would have been sitting here in victory lane, but, you know, they did a great job. But man, that Riverside Precision Sheet Metal Ford just come up a little short today. But thanks for Speed and Cannon, all they do, and we'll get them next week at Dover.
Corey LaJoie comes home 2nd with a good points day.
When we talk about points, 3 left in the season. Corey LaJoie looking strong, still running for a championship as we look at the point standings. Moffitt, Larson, LaJoie separated by 11 points. Chase Elliott just 12 points back.
Yeah, things have really tightened up. We heard from the garage area that Brett Moffitt's left rear tire was losing air. That's why he faded at the end.
Next stop for the K&N Pro Series East, we head to Dover. We go from the Magic Mile to the Monster Mile, and that one is always a tricky racetrack to take on, Phil.
Yeah, that's a great racetrack, concrete surface. These guys put on a terrific show there at Dover. But 3 races left here. We've got one heck of a point battle.
A great point battle. The top 4 separated by just 12 points. Who will emerge victorious as the 2012 season winds down? Just 3 races to go. This one here in Loudon, New Hampshire, a wild one at the end. It was a 5-lap shootout that Kyle Larson was able to outduel Corey LaJoie for win number 2 of his career.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.